Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Adam. This is Musing of a Man. It's time for another tech review. Let's have a look at VanTrue's OnDash X1. So the OnDash X1 from VanTrue. It sports an ARO 330 CMOS image sensor. It supports 1080p full HD. It has a 170-degree ultra-wide angle lens. It supports HDR or high dynamic range for clearer vision regardless of lighting conditions. It records at 30 FPS in the MP4H.264 codec. It takes 12 megapixels in the photo setting. It has a wide aperture of F1.8. It has a built-in G sensor with varying levels of sensitivity. It supports seamless loop recording of between 1, 3, 5 and 10 minutes, which in essence overwrites the oldest unprotected file so you never run out of space. Auto power on when the engine starts. It has a parking mode which requires an optional hard wiring, and GPS tracking which also requires an optional GPS receiver mount. Links for both in the description below. It also has a 2.7-inch high-res LCD and supports HDMI Out through the mini HDMI port. The power is delivered to the unit through the actual mount, and also you don't lose a charging point in your car. So those buttons on the actual dashcam have a variety of options. Top left is to take a photo, left hand side at the bottom is to save a file, and within the actual menu within it you've got resolution up to 1080 down to 720, but that's fine. Loop recording, as I said, 1, 3, 5 and 10 minutes you can cycle the recordings for. Parking monitor needs to be hardwired for that to actually work. There's the option for the G sensor. HDR you can switch on, you can switch off the mic altogether, and with regards to stamp you can hard code any of these: date and time, your logo, car number plate, speed and GPS. Obviously those last two you will require the GPS mount to be able to record those. You can set different language, time setup, your car, everything all the way through. You can change the flicker rate to between 50 Hz and 60 Hz. Obviously you can record in NTSC or PAL. That's for fully formatting everything. You can switch back to the default settings, and the last one in the settings is to check the firmware. Now going across, obviously if you've got the GPS mount in there you can set it all through there as well. You can also navigate through the files, which on a computer look like this: event, normal and photo. So whenever you have an event, whether the G sensor kicks it or that you've pressed the button, it will save it in a separate folder on your computer. Looking at this, you can cycle through all the videos that are on there. We're in the event section at the moment, and let's have a look at this. You can actually play it back on the 2.7-inch screen on the actual device, and this is how it looks in real life, and I'm pretty sure that you'll agree with me, it's actually really good quality. The blues you can kind of see, we'll see a little bit later on in some more footage, but everything is in pretty much decent definition, and the resolution is really quite good when it comes to capturing everything that you need, even at high speed like this on a motorway at 70 miles an hour. One thing to note, and this kind of goes for dash cams in general really, because you're kind of busy with that whole, driving lock, you're not actually operating the camera, and as such you can't be absolutely certain that what you need to be captured at a certain point is captured. Say for instance a guy comes on the outside of me now, cuts me up, takes up my front bumper and drives off. I can't be absolutely certain that his registration plate has been captured. I can't be certain that it was in focus. Now, you can of course turn off the microphone on this dash cam, but as you can hear, it's pretty good at capturing audio. It's pretty decent audio as well, and certainly good enough to record clearly you read out a license plate. Obviously you can see the guy who's just passed me, that's a Jaguar XJ. I mean, you heard that as clear as me reading out his number plate, and that way you've definitely got a hard copy of a registration that you need. Yeah, okay, it's not the physical evidence of the registration plate and not absolutely certain if it's been captured, but you've definitely got a note to be able to pass over to the authorities. And I did promise you some blues, so here they are. Beautiful sunny day. And as you can see, that HDR setting on the camera is working really well. Obviously, all the bright points are kept so they're not blowing out, and all the shadowed areas, you can see there's still quite a bit of information in there. We're not totally blowing out because it's too bright, and we're not losing too much when it goes too dark in those shadows. That is a real test for some of the real cheaper dash cams. Whenever it's dark areas, maybe on the left hand side there, it gets extremely noisy, but not only there, you almost can't see anything in those shadowed areas. Let's have a look how it looks when the tables turn and it gets a little bit inclement. If you live here in the UK, you will know that summer lasts for maybe about a day, 2 days maximum at a time. I'm not too sure if we've finished with our our summer yet, but as you can see, this is picking up pretty well, even though there's quite a lot of spray on the road as well. One thing definitely to mention is you need to make sure that your windscreen is clean. Now, I know that sounds absolutely obvious, but if you imagine a camera operator, anyone who shoots DSLR or video, you make sure that your lenses are nice and clean. And although this windscreen in front of you doesn't necessarily have any aspherical properties, it does make a difference. So making sure that your windscreen is kept clean, not only because it's pretty important for, you know, safety, for you seeing everything, but also to make sure that this gets the best opportunity to capture as much as possible. One thing I would like to have seen is possibly a polarizing lens in there. For those who don't know, what a polarizing lens does is it cuts down reflection. So say all this reflection on the road at the moment, so glad there wasn't a pedestrian there. That's kind of illegal. Did you know that? But yeah, all the reflection that you can see on the road, if you have a polarizing lens on a camera, or if you've got shades that have polarizing lenses, you'll know that it cuts down all the reflection, and I personally think it would give a much clearer picture. Maybe an idea for a more expensive dash camera from VanTrue, or if they're planning an upgrade, definitely a polarizing lens. I'd be very interested as to how that would have an effect on the quality of a dash cam. So overall, how good is this? It's really good. I'm really quite impressed with that. The fact, oh, it's upside down. The fact that it has the event folder built in. As I showed you before, when you get it back onto a computer, it already has everything in your normal folder and an event folder. Obviously photo as well, but I mean, yeah, you could be taking photos when you're driving, but for those of you who are regular viewers to the channel, you'll know that this isn't the first thing we've reviewed from VanTrue. We also reviewed their phone mount quite recently, and link in the description below for that. If you haven't seen it, I'll chuck up a card up here, and also I'll chuck one at the end. I mentioned that because not only, you know, they've sent this product as well, but last time they gave us a discount code for anyone ordering in the UK or on amazon.co.uk site. And they've done it again for us. This is currently retailing for $89.99 with free delivery in the UK. What the lovely guys over at VanTrue have given us another code, link in the description below for that. Copy and paste that, put that in as a promo code at checkout, and they will give you £20 off. So instead of getting it for what, £90, you're getting it for $69.99 and 70 quid. It's great. That's very generous of VanTrue, and again, thank you so much for supporting our viewers and of course supporting our channel. Don't forget, you will need a micro SD for this. We recommend the 32GB from Samsung. Link in the description below again where to get it. With an idea of size, I'm running with full HDR and the full resolution, and every 5 minutes is half a gig. So give or take, it's around 100 megabytes per minute. So as you can imagine, that can fill up quite quickly if you do a lot of driving. Don't forget, in the cycle recording mode, you do only overwrite the oldest video in the list. So it constantly overwrites itself, which is great. And of course, anything that you have either your G sensor has picked up and put straight into the event folder, or that you've pressed the button at the bottom left, that gets straight over and that does not get overwritten. Granted, there are better dash cams out there, yes, that have looked 2K, but really for this price and the price that you're getting it for, you lucky people, you can't argue with it. It's fantastic value for money. Don't forget, by the way, we still have a competition running for a giveaway, link in the description below for that. That's running until around the end of June, so if you're watching after the end of June 2017, I'm so sorry you missed out. But there are more giveaways to come, so make sure you subscribed. If you've enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please consider clicking the like button on the video. It really helps out the channel more than you know. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We're a lovely little channel here, and whether you're subscribed or you're not, if you haven't already, make sure you click on the little bell icon on YouTube and make sure you've selected it to get notifications so you're notified every time that we put up a new video. Don't forget, there is the Musing of a Man Facebook page. We're doing a giveaway on there. Make sure you get in there and get in for the giveaways. Thanks again so much for watching, guys. My name is Adam. This has been Musing of a Man, and I'll see you on the next one.